And we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time on the GSMC Sports Network. Here to talk about all things professional wrestling, all the actions inside and outside of the ring, all the rumors, all the roundups, all the news and stuff like that on superstars, all the stuff that's happening within the promotion. And yeah, make sure you tune into the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast. Just kind of reflect on what we talked about real quick. We had our WWE Monday Night Raw review, our NXT preview. We talked about Chad Gable and Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, their promo that they're having, what it really means for their future. And now we're going to talk about when will WWE finally pull the trigger on Jey Uso? Why are they, holding off so much? So, definitely, kind of a question that a lot of people within the WWE universe is, ultimately kind of wondering and stuff like that. So, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right, so Jey Uso obviously is one of the most decorated superstars because of the tag team run that they had, and with Jimmy also, what he had with the Bloodline as well was pretty dominant. One of the most dominant factions in wrestling history was the Bloodline, as well as his run with his brother Jimmy for as the undisputed tag team championships. But obviously they made history before that. I think there's 7-time tag team championships world and also regular WWE. So, recent, he had a breakout in recent singles competition ever since he was sort of excommunicated from the bloodline and, kind of taken back. And then you had, it didn't take until Jimmy Uso was getting kicked out for Jay to be like, look, like I gotta stay, I gotta stay next to my twin. I gotta, gotta back him up. I can't afford to kind of do this with Roman. Can't afford to kind of be here with my little brother solo. I had, you have to protect your legacy. And the legacy he had with Jimmy Uso was by far one of the best, one of the hottest in terms of tag team runs in the professional wrestling industry. That's something Jey Uso is, he's a winner. He's definitely a winner. I can see why, what after everything that happened, you can kind of see this guy as a singles breakout star. No surprise, 1,010%. He came up a little short on the Money in the Bank ladder match, which I thought, and I did a segment on this last week of how I thought the WWE wasted the Money in the Bank. I felt like they could have had Jay. They could have gave it to Chad. They could have gave it to Carmelo Hayes, maybe Andrade to further their careers. But instead, they threw it away for CM Punk to do something that he did twice already. Screw Drew McIntyre out of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship once again, twice again, and I guess third time's a charm. Like I, don't understand why they did it. I kind of had a speculation that maybe they're doing it because they're handling the bookings really sensitive. Like they want to build up this thing that's going to happen with Cody Rhodes and maybe The Rock at WrestleMania. But then John Cena also threw his name in the mix. Also in terms of retiring from the WWE. His last WrestleMania is going to be at WrestleMania 41. I don't think it's going to be something that's going to be brushed under the rug by WWE. I feel like after what John Cena has done for the WWE, you kind of have to make it a bigger deal than it needs to be. Obviously, John Cena, best face you could possibly have for your company. No allegations, no scandals, no negative publicity, anything like that. So, they're definitely planning up for something big. Having somebody, lingering around with the Money in the Bank briefcase would have never really kind of done any good kind of thing. That's the reason why I thought ultimately they're like, all right, let's just, have this year without the Money in the Bank briefcase. And then when we bring it back, it's going to come back better than ever. Probably you're going to see a superstar that's so over with the crowd win it. I could see maybe possibly Jay in the future, maybe even possibly Roman Reigns. When Roman Reigns comes back, he's not going to automatically have a shot at Cody Rhodes and stuff like that. And he's never been a Money in the Bank winner. So it'd be interesting to see Roman Reigns, kind of you would see this transformation that WWE fans have been longing for their whole entire lives as, not seeing Roman. I'm not trying to dig at Roman Reigns, but he's never really started from the bottom. Never really started from the bottom. He's been giving title shots because he's so damn marketable. You put him on a freaking Wheaties box, like you'll sell some Wheaties. So, it would be kind of ideal for WWE to be like, all right, we're gonna have Roman, we're gonna have the fans, he's going to be babyface, and for the first time, they're going to accept him because they're going to see him grow. They're going to see him endure hardships and stuff like that. You're going to see him lose. You're going to kind of see him hit that rock bottom, that bottom of the totem pole. Ultimately, Roman Reigns is going to be betrayed by his whole family, including The Rock. So I definitely think The Rock is pulling the strings behind this new young bloodline and stuff like that. So it'd be kind of interesting to find out what they do with the Money in the Bank briefcase, kind of furthermore. But yeah, honestly, yeah, kind of crazy. Since leaving the bloodline, I feel like even though Jey Uso has kind of been, in big spots and kind of losing them ultimately, like you had him in Money in the Bank. He's briefly, he's been, the undisputed tag team champions with Cody Rhodes. He lost in the semifinals against Gunther at the King of the Ring. Since leaving the bloodline, he's been in major WWE bookings. He's been, he's not just that, kind of throwaway superstar, not like that mid Carter. That no, they want to make him into a star. They want to make Jey Uso into a star. And if you pay attention to his matches, the way he gets the fans so damn excited, I feel like it'd be stupid not to put something on Jey at this point. And obviously, I would really, 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 really love to see this reunion between him and Sami Zayn, fighting for an Intercontinental Championship. Maybe he's Intercontinental Champion, kind of kind of worthy right now because in the future, what's going to happen with Damian Priest? What's going to happen with Gunther? It all plays a factor. Drew and CM Punk and Seth. I would say out of all those guys, he's probably still sitting kind of number six in terms of, who do we have to take care of? Who deserves a title shot? Who's more marketable as a champion? Like Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, thing is, getting a little out of control, but, kind of crazy. And something that I really honestly really not want for WWE to kind of do is you've recently seen Jimmy Uso get medically cleared to compete in WWE again. I feel like it would be ultimately a step back in his career right now for him to tag team once again with with his brother, trying to establish gold and stuff like that. So honestly, I think that would be, kind of a setback, so to speak. But they might be able to make it swing. Like who knows? Who knows? It might happen. But honestly, I would not want to see a reunion. Maybe a reunion, in the future sometime, but not within the next year. So Jey Uso is, like we mentioned, so over with the crowd. The crowd absolutely loved the yeet with him. Nobody, even superstars and stuff like that, finding it hard to ultimately, kind of hold, Jay accountable for everything he kind of did within the bloodline and stuff like that. So, definitely think he's doing good. Definitely think, what's going on with his career is definitely where he needs to be. Definitely the right spot for him. So yeah, definitely think that's pretty cool that they do that with Jey Uso. Definitely think he's a future star, future star. All right, and then also like speaking on the Hall of Fame podcast, you had two-time Hall of Famer Booker T answered the question of will Jey Uso finally win a singles title, and he said, and I quote, "It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You gotta pull the rocket on him. Yeah, you gotta pull the rocket on him sooner rather than later because he's uber talented right now. He's uber over right now, and yeah, no, it's definitely 1,010%. It's something you can see in the future. Something that obviously Hall of Famers like Booker T. Obviously, he's not probably the only one that's pushing for Jey Uso to get put over because ultimately I think Jey does that by himself with his talent, his in-ring capabilities on his own. But it was kind of cool to have Booker T. Booker T, obviously a WCW superstar, had to fight, claw, scratch his way up to the point where he is a two-time Hall of Famer, where he is a King of the Ring, multiple time world champion in the WWE and also the WCW. So just for someone to go out and say something like that, it's a huge compliment. I definitely think Jey Uso does have something special, kind of like what he was saying, like you got to put him over now rather than later. And I think he's over, but I need a championship out on this guy. I gotta be honest. I want to see this guy win. I want to see him. Would have been interesting to see him. Fight against Damian Priest. Obviously, that would be a huge, a huge mountain to climb. But he's like he has a good winning record ever since he became a single star. And like he has a good, he has a good record. Him and Cody Rhodes are the only two people to pin Roman Reigns in 1,400 days. So that's pretty damn huge. Roman Reigns is one of the best WWE superstars in our modern times in wrestling history. So Jey Uso is, they're saving him up. They're saving him up. When they decide to ultimately put him over, I don't know. Maybe he wins the Royal Rumble. Kind of crazy. It would be interesting to see if he does win the Royal Rumble because now you're kind of fighting for that main event spot that I feel like CM Punk wants. CM Punk was originally supposed to win the Royal Rumble, which makes me think that maybe he's a shoe-in as the winner for our next Royal Rumble, which is cool. But I get it. That's cool and stuff like that. But low key, I kind of hate it. Low key, I want to see younger superstars kind of get put over. If you're gonna put over someone like CM Punk just to defeat somebody like Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship, or Damian Priest, or anything like that, or even against Seth Rollins, who knows what's gonna happen with that World Heavyweight Championship, or maybe they decide to challenge Cody Rhodes, but it's pretty prominent right now that The Rock, the final boss, has his handprints all over Cody Rhodes. So, where does Jey Uso kind of fit in any of these time singles titles, pictures and stuff like that? I don't see it right now. But like Booker T said, they got to put a rocket on him sooner rather than later. So definitely think Jey Uso is going to be a force to be reckoned with in the future. He's still young, still very young, part of a pretty prominent family within the Inoue, the Fatu, also the Mayaveas. So yeah, honestly, the sky's the limit for this guy. All right, guys, do not go anywhere. It is Tuesday, so step into my DeLorean, 88 miles per hour. We're going to go back in time on July 17th. We're going to go back in time through the years and discuss some professional wrestling accolades. So, hey, do not go anywhere.